You're listening to Mentoring Developers. Now, do you feel like you have to keep your skills up to date a lot? And is that a little bit of a challenge for you?
It's yes and no, I guess. I guess the biggest challenge is trying to know what to focus on, because there's so many things coming out every day, like new frameworks and new languages, and everybody thinks they're doing it the right way, and everybody wants to be the new, everybody wants to have like their own style guide and everything. So it can be the biggest challenge is just, being comfortable with what you know and having like a list of things you want to improve and learn that, and not get like saturated with information, because trying to keep up with everything, it's one, impossible, and second, you'll be wasting a lot of time and not getting your job done.
So you have to pick your battles. You can't win everywhere. You need to figure out what are the important technologies or techniques or skills that you need to learn. What are you going to be known for, right? People talk about personal branding. Like if I know David Silva, I should think about JavaScript. I should think about Angular. I should think about, something else. But I shouldn't say programmer, because if I say programmer, that doesn't really tell me enough information for me to make any judgment call, right? If I have a project and I know that I need to build an interactive user interface that needs to work in a single page type fashion, where you need to change something that goes on, but the page appears to be an application in its own right. If I need to do that, I might say I need somebody perhaps with some front-end skills, maybe JavaScript, Angular. And then immediately I will think of David Silva, because I know David keeps talking about Angular and JavaScript. So, but if you just talk to people about being a programmer, being a developer, being
JavaScript, JavaScript sometimes, because sometimes people will be like, "Oh, you're very good in JavaScript. I have this, React question," and I'm like, "Well, if an hour to read the documentation, I can answer, but I can't answer on the spot." Yeah.
Right. So essentially, all of us, we need to keep reminding ourselves to narrow down our focus to something that we can reasonably learn. We can't learn everything, and we shouldn't even try. We should be known for a thing, and that's what we call a personal brand. All right. So
I guess some people are good at a lot of things, I guess, but you will never be great at a lot of things. Like some people, some people are mediocre at best at a bunch of things, but it's really hard to find somebody that's like extremely good at like Postgres and Django and Angular. Like it would be kind of hard.
Right.
And at companies in the size, like the company that I work at, we value more, like a specialization. Like obviously every now and then somebody needs help on the back end, and or if I need to fix something, I won't be like, "Oh, hey, boss, can you fix this for me?" Like I will go and I'll do it myself. Like I will learn a lot of small things, but it's better to choose something and become really good at that something.
Yeah, I should mention that a lot of companies are looking for full stack developers. I'm not knocking full stack developers, or this idea of having somebody who knows the full stack from the database up to the front end. It's really valuable, and I think all of us know how to make applications from front to back. It's very few people. If you're in a web development space, then you generally know how to get around. But we're talking about keeping your skills up to date, because there are going to be new versions, new techniques, new technologies that will keep coming out in each one of these spheres, and you can't keep up with Postgres and MySQL and Oracle and Ruby on Rails and Django and Ember and Angular and ES6 and ES 2015 and 2016. You cannot be somebody who knows everything about all of these things. You should certainly know enough that you can do your work, but don't try to be an expert, which means the only way you can avoid that is that you can say, I want to know how to get work done, but at the same time, I'm going to focus on 1, 2, or 3 things that I want to be one of the best at, right? And the only way to do that is if you keep up with them, right?
Yeah.
So
yeah, it's like especially when people sometimes, because sometimes I will interview people and they will be like, "Oh, I'm amazing at this and this and this," and it's like, I don't believe you. And a lot of recruiters and people know that this is impossible. And a lot of people think they're very good at something or like they're amazing at something until they meet somebody that actually is. And then it kind of like humbles you. It happened to me at one point. I remember I was like, "Oh, I'm really good at MySQL," and I'm actually like, I knew how to create very complicated joins and do a lot of cool stuff, and I knew a lot of commands by, in memory. So I will create database and do whatever I wanted from memory. But then the interviewer was like, "Oh, if you're very good at MySQL, okay, I'm gonna show you the output of this explain command. What does it mean?" And I'm like, "Oh shit, oops."
Knowledge is an ocean, right? You can keep going deeper and deeper, and you'll find more and more, especially in technology and in development where the ground keeps shifting from under us. Okay. Thank you so much for listening.
For show notes and transcripts, visit us at mentoringdevelopers.com.